Hello everybody, welcome finally back to Dragonbane night at the Adventure Archive. Who's in the chat? A few people so far. So I put out a poll and you guys, granted it was a hair over people who would rather watch the VODs than see us live, but I didn't want to disappoint you guys who join us in the streams because it's fun chatting with you and also having you call us out on rules errors. Same thing with the commenters. Never feel like you are offending us. I got some really great rules call outs again in episode 1. But I think, you know, he mentioned that it's really to help other people. So he was like, oh crap, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to be a dick and, you know, send this as like I'm critiquing you, but just in case other people playing the game find it. So thank you. No offense ever taken. Okay, well, it's been a bit of a break. You can see we have a little layout change. So we'll talk about that as the game progresses. But I got to thank some people because I'm using some music. And this tune is called Destiny, and it's by Andreas, who wrote the Dragonbane soundtrack. So thanks, man, for that. As well as we're also using plenty of Heimat der Katastrophe's work. Particularly Noel. I'm probably gonna add some more as they release some more albums, but thank you guys so much for letting us use your tunes. Patrick P, who I haven't heard from in a long time, developer of the Dragonbane, the Foundry system, which we're using right now. So thanks for that, and as well as everybody else over at the Dragonbane development team for making our lives easier. So, oh yeah, if you're watching right now, give us a like for the algorithm, as well as if you're watching in the future. So I appreciate that. So we're glad to be back. Glad to be back. Let's, I had to remember where we were, and then also, anyway, we'll get to it, because there's some changes, clearly. There's somebody missing from the overlay, which I'll talk about. So last time, just to remind you guys, you guys were in this, you guys journeyed to this isle where you met a very old wolfkin, and you do know that Morning Cloak had a conversation with him. I don't believe anybody was in the room, but after that conversation, there was a let's call it a heaviness. There was a heaviness over Morning Cloak. He especially when you guys went down to try to find Antelia, who was down this well, which ended up to be more than a well. It was this underground cave system where she was shackled. And you discovered why she was shackled, or shackled herself there, or was assisted to be shackled there anyway. And that is, she was cursed to be a werewolf. And so she was there basically to sacrifice herself, to end herself, because she has done some very terrible things in her werewolf form, and was also cursed to remember those terrible things even while in human form. So that is one of the potential side effects of lycanthropy. Sometimes you remember and sometimes you don't. She happened to remember. So what happened in that encounter was Morning Cloak, Sir Morning Cloak, he dispatched her entirely. And we all know that Darrow, poor Darrow, was there to save the day, to be the savior, the hero of the hour, and he failed her, which led them back to her cottage, where we are now. And Morning Cloak definitely was affected by this. Everybody was. There was, again, a heavy sadness over the party. Motivations were questioned. What are we doing out here? Why are we on this mad race to collect these statuette pieces and bring potential peace to the valley, the Vale, the Misty Vale. There's just mere hints of the evil that is rising right now, that is brewing in the Vale. We do know that the players also learn there are a group of who knows what, henchmen, cultists. We don't quite know. They found them at the Road's End Inn, and they were after them just to keep an eye on them, because it is not common knowledge, but there are key people that the players don't know that they have statuette pieces, and that these pieces are going to be used for good or ill. We don't quite know. But anyway, you guys went back to the cottage and had a brief conversation. I know Darrow went to go bury Antelia in the little grave site behind the cottage. And I guess the rest of you settled down. Did you guys sleep in the cottage? What was the plan there? What do you think Sariel and Louis would have done?
I feel like they would have stayed the night.
Yeah, if it was like evening time, probably.
Okay. So here
Assuming Darrow would have let them.
Haha. Yeah, I mean,
sure, we did kind of have like a very weepy, like, goodbye, and then we're just like, well, we're just gonna stay here for the night.
Yeah. So just as a reminder, speaking of weepy goodbyes, the last words that Morning Cloak shared with the party, specifically Darrow, in fact, because again, he feels terrible. He's very torn what he did. He destroyed this woman that Darrow dearly cared for, but also he gave her what she wanted as well. So it's kind of this, I don't know, it's like a bittersweet ending. But the last words he uttered were, "We do what we have to do." And with those words, he did not enter the cottage with the rest of you. And you did not second guess him. You did not request him to come in. You did not ask any questions because you could tell from his demeanor that he was disturbed, let's say. He was bothered. So you let him blow off steam outside. But soon, Louis and Sariel, you guys fell fast asleep. And morning rose. So let's let the sunlight rise. So it was a quiet morning. You guys broke bread with Darrow one last time, and he bid you farewell at the threshold of the cottage. And so the last two members of the party, Sariel and Louis, you guys are standing outside as the morning mists spill over the lands. And there is one thing that you may or may not have forgotten, that you guys have some horses tied up just to the south of here near a river. So that said, I will open up the session. Sariel, Louis, you guys are standing outside, as I mentioned. There's a fresh dew as the mist spills across the grass. What would you like to do?
So we step outside. Do we see Morning Cloak anywhere? Or we're just like...
No. So you step outside. You don't see Morning Cloak anywhere. Would you like to go around the perimeter of the cottage or look for any signs of him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you look around, and why don't you roll me a... let's see. Why don't you roll me a bushcraft? I'll give you a bushcraft or a spot hidden, whichever you'd like. I guess it's the same roll.
Okay.
Okay. A 9 is a success. So Sariel, you are walking around the cottage, and actually over by the gravesite, you find a set of tracks. And they are wolfkin tracks. They're very distinct. You have traveled with Morning Cloak for a very long time, and so you know these footprints. However, there's something different about them. They're darker than the soil that they're on. And upon closer investigation, you see that there is, it's almost like ash. It's black. It's almost as if like a dead campfire are filling every little paw print, toe print. And as you're looking at them, it's almost as if they're aware of your presence. And they start to seal up. And the ash blows away. And the wind picks up. And leaves are cast across the tracks, almost as if erasing them from existence. The last time you saw leaves were at the Isle. So there was a lot of dead leaves, and these leaves appear to be of similar species. Dead as well, though, not live. And you kind of look around, you do see some trees very close by, but they are alive and thriving in the very wet environment out here. But after a time, those tracks completely vanish, the leaves completely blow away, and it's as if these prints never existed at all. Where they were, the grass has grown back, the land is completely unblemished.
Well, that is odd. I'll let Louis know.
Okay. So Louis, I guess, you see Sariel kind of meandering. Did you follow her? Or are you doing something else? What would you be doing right now?
I think he would let Sariel go check out the tracks.
Okay.
I think what Louis is gonna do is he's gonna take out his didgeridoo,
Okay.
and just kind of play like a familiar tune, that Morning Cloak would have heard, and just in case maybe he's gotten lost, or Louis doesn't think he would, but just in case.
Okay, and whereabouts are you in relation to the cottage? Are you kind of in the front area, off to the side, where the candles are visible in the window? Where would you be?
Yeah, I would say Louis is probably sitting in between like those two windows right there.
Okay. So as you play your didgeridoo, a wind picks up, and it almost howls in harmony with the song that you're playing, and you see some leaves tumble by and disappear into the distance.
Louis is gonna notice that, and the song's just gonna kind of slowly fade out as the wind dies down.
Okay. So for listeners out there, if you're listening to the podcast or if you're just listening to the YouTube VOD, Ryan is no longer with us in Dragonbane, so no harsh feelings or anything like that. He just decided he needed to step away and dedicate time to other things. But fear not, the adventure continues. It's going to continue as well once we introduce Matt's new character, or characters, we shall see very soon. But I just wanted to let you guys know meta as to, hey, why isn't Ryan here? Narratively, where's Morning Cloak? Don't worry, Morning Cloak still exists in this world, as does Darrow. So they may or may not cross paths again, we shall see. Okay, so that done. Sariel, Louis, what's next?
So I pretty much, or we both kind of understand that he's gone his own way.
Yeah, because you do remember the last things he did say was, we must do what we must do.
Yeah.
And you also noticed that the outcome of Antelia's demise was, very, I don't know. It's the first time you've really seen Morning Cloak mourn in a way. And you weren't quite sure if it was what he did to Antelia or sort of the distance he put between himself and Darrow. So betrayed another party member. So who knows?
Okay. Well, it looks like it's just you and me now.
Oh. We could go knock on Darrow's door and ask him to help us again.
No. That would be awkward. Let's leave him alone. We already said our goodbyes.
That's true. And then we had to knock on the door again to sleep there. That was a little bit awkward.
It was.
But- I don't think I could handle two different awkward situations here, so we should get the horses. Do you think they're, well, still alive?
I hope so. It's only been about 2 days, so we hit them very, very well.
As you
I remember
remind me again, yes, of course. So you guys know, I guess you take the map out, let's say. Even though maybe you don't require it, because Serial, you're very in tuned with the paths or lack of paths in the Misty Vale. At least the southeastern region. You guys haven't really checked much of the northwest or northeast, but I will bring up the map here. Where are we? Okay. So, activating. So let me get Morning Cloak out of here. And Darrow out of here. So you guys are right there by the cottage. The little farmstead. Where there was a few sheep grazing on the hillside. So you are a very short walk to the bridge where you left the horses. In fact, it's only 2.5 kilometers. So you guys could make it there relatively quickly if you'd like.
The footprints from Morning Cloak, were they heading in this direction too?
Oh yeah, I guess Serial would have told you. They were heading north. So they were heading actually northwest, so you guys haven't gone that direction yet. But northwestern would either lead you guys, maybe up the river. You see on a map there is an illustration of a fort of some kind, a small fort. There's also the heavy forests as well, the Magna Woods. But again, Serial only caught a glimpse of a certain immediate direction. Maybe not where he went after that.
Okay. Well, at least he left us the horses.
Oh, yes, we hope. Can we head towards the horses?
Yeah, of course. Is that what you guys want to do? Head on toward the horses? Okay, so it is a pretty short jaunt, and I will remind you, I will bring back up the river here. The river pass, the river crossing, where? You guys tossed Louis over the edge, over the bridge, the gap in the bridge. So you guys arrive here. Oh, sorry, stream. Let me move it where you should see. And it's pretty much exactly as you left it. You hear the rushing of the river. It's misty as ever. The boat also is still docked on the side, on your side, where you guys used a rope to carry yourself across. The rope is still there as well. So it's as if you've never left.
Okay.
Would it be easier to just take the boat?
Where?
Across?
Well, the horses are on the other side of the river.
Yes, I think. I mean, if the boat's still there, I guess we can do the same thing we did.
Yeah, otherwise you'll have to figure out a way to leap across the broken bridge.
Dariel could tie me to one of her arrows and then, launch me across.
I don't have any arrows.
Yeah.
The only arrow, actually, so I believe there's an arrow, right? Did you guys wedge the arrow with the rope into the rock?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. So your eyes glimmer, the hair on the back of your neck stands up, Serial, and you're very excited as you see finally a single arrow. However, of course, you are torn because The arrow is also an anchor for your passage.
So, Serial shot an arrow, rolled a demon, dropped all of her arrows in the water.
That's when I dropped him.
Yes.
And then we had to throw Louis over.
Or maybe it was a dagger. I don't really remember what happened. I don't remember if there was a dagger or a knife. Was it an arrow that she made and then tried to do another shot? Because that doesn't make sense, right?
Oh, no,
I don't think she made an arrow.
Louis, and then didn't he, like, affix?
Yeah, he tied the
Oh, that's right.
the rope down.
Oh, that's right. Never mind then. Let's cancel that.
Right.
However, now is not the time, but I would like to just point out that I think Serial can sort of auto create arrows as long as she has her quiver.
Okay, so is that something, you mean craft? Roll a crafting
No,
roll?
basically there's a rule saying that as long as someone has their quiver still, you can still use the weapon. So narratively, story-wise...
I see. So even though she lost her arrows, let's say, she always had her quiver, and then thereby she can craft something. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
Yes. However, these arrows would be wooden-headed, or wood-headed, I suppose. Which means that, they're not as strong as her previous.
So mechanically, I guess, since it sounds like you've been poking around the rule book, how does that work?
Let's see. I think they are... Those arrows
Are they just in
are...
the equipment guide?
Yeah, you get... I don't know. I think the armor rating goes up when you use the crap arrows.
I see.
Sorry to all the listeners who were hoping we wouldn't have to...
Oh, I see.
Wooden
Wooden head.
off air.
Required to fire bows or crossbows. The effectiveness of armor is doubled. That's how it works. So it's not really a damage difference, but the armor... I like that. That's interesting. Yep. Rather than making like a separate item and then also assigning a damage roll, it's basically just whatever you hit has double armor. So, yeah, Serial, I guess the sight of the river and as the demise of all of your arrows, is she inspired or determined to whittle some arrows before you guys pass? Or are you going to go unarmed? Well, I guess you have a little staff, right?
Yeah. Like unarmed across... I think I'm not thinking about that yet. I think I want to get to these horses.
Okay.
Really no reason to stop and make arrows at the moment.
Okay. So right when you guys begin to edge your way down toward the bank,
Oh wait, there is a serpent. No, we killed it.
You
No.
killed the serpent, yes. There was a great serpent that attacked you that almost swallowed Morning Cloak whole. So as you guys are kind of making your way down the bank, you hear a commotion even over the rushing of the river. You hear the neighing of horses. You hear the clomping of hoofbeats. You hear also the curses of men. You hear the clangs of steel, and there is something going on the other side of the river. But this causes you to look up, and you look up, and right when you look up, a winged creature bursts from the trees, landing on this bridge here. And that is Mats. Do you want to take over?
I do. What you see is this creature with a panther's head and bat-like wings, very scrawny, dressed in like a burlap sack, blue, with holes cut out for the head and arms and stuff. And yeah, her golden fur is very mottled. She's got big blue eyes. And she says, "You have to help me. Please. You
So
two."
just to give you guys a... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No, that was it.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who I am. Please, they're trying to kill my friend over there.
Who's they?
2 or 3 bastards. They're bad people. We don't have time. They're going to kill him.
So this is kind of the beast for the viewers as well as the players. This is the kind of creature that lands with leathery bat-like wings, but cat-like in you know, appearance. Other than that, on the other side of the bridge, on your side. So you guys have never seen something like this. You guys have never. Actually, you know what? Why don't you roll me a beast lore?
Rude.
Yeah, roll me a beast lore because Serial is well traveled. She has been far and wide, read many books. However, not enough apparently, because she rolled a 17, which is a failure unless you'd like to push the roll and get a condition as you examine this creature.
I'm not a beast.
Nah, I'm not gonna push it.
Okay, so just right on the tip of your tongue, right in the back of your mind, but you can't quite place it. But yeah, this cat-like person is pleading with you for help, and you again hear the commotion happening on the other side of the river. Sounds like multiple people yelling, hoofbeats on the earth, etc., etc.
From where Louis is, can he see if this person's armed?
I don't know. Tell us, Mats.
The panther with the wings is not armed.
Okay.
Serial, they're not armed. They might be telling the truth.
Yes. I mean, we're headed that way anyway.
And you guys think you're pretty comfortable seeing this creature and
Seeing it?
yeah, seeing this creature. You've never seen something like this before. I'm just curious how Serial and Louis might react. Not that Louis is prejudiced. I mean, he is a mallard himself, but again, you guys have never seen anything like this before, let alone a creature like this speak.
So, Louis kind of used to the strange and unique.
Okay.
Just because, like, the troop that he traveled with had some, strange and unique folks in there as well. But he is kind of wondering if he maybe smoked a little too much before setting off and can't tell if this person's supposed to be a cat person or if they're supposed to be like a bat person with wings,
Okay.
Yeah, I think Serial is a little bit curious, but her mind is preoccupied with our party just being torn in half and trying to find these horses.
Okay. So do you follow in the boat? Or what is the plan?
I mean, that was our original plan, right?
Okay.
To do the boat.
They were trying to eat the horses parked on the other side of the river. I don't know if that makes any difference to you.
Whoa! Horses are friends, not food. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so Sariel and Louis, I guess which one of you takes the rope to guide the vessel across the other side to the other side?
I don't think Louis can reach it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I'll
That's
do that.
true. Okay, Sariel, you guys make your way. You guys fight against the rapids, but successfully. Actually, why don't you roll me a strength? And if Louis, if you're gonna help, I'll give you a boon to that roll.
Yeah, if he sees Serial struggling, he's gonna,
Yeah.
attempt to grab the rope.
Yeah, you guys are unfortunately lacking the muscle power of. Wow, look at that, a dragon!
Right now.
Wow. So Sariel, you yeah, if you would like to do anything else that is amazing, let me know. Otherwise, you just make it across the river very,
I think
very
I'm
quickly.
just gonna speed make it across.
Speed make
half the
it?
time.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you guys make it all the way to the other side. I guess I should move the boat too. Okay.
You're so strong, the creature says.
Hmm.
And does
You're
she
trying to
fly
get our
back?
help. Let's thank you.
Yes, the creature has already flown across the river.
Okay. So you guys make it across the sound of commotion is much louder. It seems to be intensifying. You hear the shouts of, I don't know, a gruff voice. Mats, what might they hear through the?
I might
through
hear
the
something
trees?
like this. Try not
Okay.
to do the exact same accent. I haven't exactly figured it out yet.
Okay. So
You hear
guys
an
have to-
old man's voice.
An old man's voice. So you guys have to travel a little bit further into the woods if you'd like to pursue this.
You should have whittled the arrows. Yeah,
If only someone told you that you auto-made them. Anywho,
I'm gonna
Okay.
grab my staff.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
we're making our way up the bank, I'm gonna actually start didgeridooing it early. No, I'm not. Never mind.
Remember
'cause it only
that's
lasts 2
so
seconds,
that's
yeah.
just for a round, so it's really more of a combat ability. But if you wanted to use it for something else, I'd allow it.
I'm gonna have
guess
the
she won't perform
didgeridoo
an action.
prepped, and then my barnacle sword in the other hand.
Oh, that's right. Barnacle sword. I forgot you found that.
I forgot
In
what
the,
it.
in the depths of the I think you just wrote down it had standard short sword damage, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you guys make your way further into the woods, following a path away from the river. And let me put you guys here. And Day, what are you doing? Are you following? Are you leading the way?
yes, she's leading the way.
Okay. So as this is going on, let me put you in the lead, and then Sariel and Louis, you guys are following close behind. You see a man. I don't know why I lost my borders on these guys. You see a man. You see your horses as well, at least some of the horses. But you see a man, an older man. Why don't you describe this older man as he is fending off the attacks of these robed figures?
So this is a human man, probably around 60 years old, 6 feet tall. He's wearing a chainmail, not a helmet, but you know that hoodie that they have, and he's got plate mail on his chest. He's probably played by Pierce Brosnan. The way Pierce Brosnan looks nowadays. It's got a big bushy beard, an axe, and a little shield.
Okay.
He's fighting these fellers.
Yeah, so that's what you guys see. And I guess, Day, you see this going on. The reality of the situation is, even more apparent now that you see it again. So, what are you going to do?
Steyr. Well, she is going to. Let's see here. Actually, she flies. Well, what is it? 6 meters up in the air.
Okay.
To have a better vantage point.
Okay, so you're just hovering up there. How does that work exactly, ability-wise, mechanically?
The bat-like wings allow it to move freely through the air at the same speed as on foot, at the cost of 1 willpower per round.
Ah, okay. So what I'm going to do in that case is enter you guys into combat so we can track this. Okay, so you guys are in combat. You guys can roll your initiative, or turn your card over, I should say, in the ways of Dragonbane. And
I'm
let's change this.
getting an already an exists error when I try to flip my card.
So do I.
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, interesting. Let me reset everybody. Let's try that again.
Same.
Oh, what's going on here?
Louis already fighting. And he's taking
There
care
we
of it.
go. It just auto did it. I hit begin combat and there we are. So we need some other tunes on here, I think. Let's do this guy. Okay, so again, you guys are a good distance away. You're about, looks like 15 meters away from this this melee. And Reginald, you're up first as these robed figures who you've been fending off for some time approach. What would you like to do?
Reg is gonna take 1 step forward to this feller, and it's going to swing his battle axe.
Okay.
Bring it down hard. And he is, in fact, going to try to disarm him.
As a bonus attack? Or I mean, like, what is it? The extra... Man, it's been a little while since I played Dragonbane. What are those?
So, you can... let's see. You can roll to disarm, which means that the target...
Aha, you try to disarm your enemy. Instead of inflicting damage, this is handled with an opposed roll between your and the enemy's skill level in the weapons you are using. Okay. So rather than attacking, you're trying to disarm this guy who's brandishing a short sword. Alright, so I get to roll off. So I'm going to roll for the brigand.
Yes. So I guess I succeeded with my roll. Ooh, maybe he did too.
Oh, so did he. But you got a lower roll, meaning you succeed. So yours goes through. That's the way opposed rolls work. unless someone corrects me in the comments later. Okay, so the attack counts as an action for you, but not for your opponent. It cannot be dodged or parried. If the enemy is holding the weapon with both hands, no. If you succeed, the weapon lands d6 meters away. So why don't you roll me a d6 and let's see how far away it lands.
4 meters. 2 squares.
4 meters, 2 squares. Okay, so that's going to be like over here into the bushes, I guess. Into the trees. So let's do that, and I'm going to say that's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to find. Let me draw a little indicator. I'll put a circle where his weapon is. So there is a short sword. So yeah, you. How does Reginald disarm this foe?
Well, he hit so hard, basically, that and almost at the hilt of this man's sword, and the assailant can't hold on anymore, and it just goes tumbling into the underbrush.
Awesome. Okay. So the hooded figure.
Take that, you fool!
He growls in anger and looks in the direction of his sword. So up next is this guy. He charges forward at you, Reginald, seeing that you disarmed his friend, and he lashes out, and you cannot dodge or anything because your turn is over. So he strikes out at you.
Actually, that's not true. I have a parry, thank you, which is a reaction.
Oh, okay. There you go. Are you sure it's not a? It doesn't take an action, count as an action, even though it's a reaction? You might want to double check, because I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, dodge and parry are both reactions.
Yeah, but dodging counts as an action, regardless. So remember, in this game, you have to choose to dodge if an attack is successful, or parry. That's
exactly.
that's the action economy in this. So because you've already gone, I believe a parry is going to take another turn, which you don't have. Yeah, when hit by an attack in close combat, you can choose to parry an attack with a drawn weapon or shield. Note that you cannot draw a weapon. You must declare that you are going to parry before the attacker rolls for damage. You cannot parry unarmed. Reaction. Parrying is a reaction as it breaks the initiative order. It replaces your regular turn, and you must immediately flip your initiative card. So, there you go. All right, so here we go. He rolls, and he attacks. Or he hits, I should say. Never gets to target you. So let's roll the damage. So that is 9 points of damage.
Damn.
Do you not have any armor?
Yeah, I do.
What is your armor?
6. So I take
Okay.
3 points of damage.
You suffer 3 points of damage as he rakes his blade across your chainmail, or your plate, I guess, right? All right. Next up, as you are hovering in the sky, Day, flapping your wings, what do you do?
So she doesn't have any offensive attacks at all. So she can't really do all that much, except for trying to move closer to the old action.
So what is her movement? Her movement is 14, so you're going to just move your entire movement?
Yeah.
So that would be 7 meters, or 7 squares, right? Because it's 2 meters per square. So 14, yeah, I mean, it'll calculate it if you just drag, so you can go as far as 14 meters.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Okay, so she's getting behind, she's swooping behind Reginald, trying to steer clear of the trees.
If I can grab her, which I can't.
Okay. Okay, Sariel, you see this cat-like, bat-like creature burst through the trees. Leaves are flying everywhere. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll walk up. Well, maybe
Do you
not
want to
walk.
you can move twice your movement if you like and not take an action, or your full movement and take an action.
Okay, so I can make it to where the action is.
Let's see. So Sariel's movement is 14. So if you'd want, you could make it all the way to here. You could make it to melee range if you'd like and still do an action. It's up to you though.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna come up to here.
Okay, and by the way, the horses that you see remaining, you guys can see 3 horses, and they are bucking. They are thrashing against their tethers that you guys tied them to because of the commotion. So I just rolled a 3 on a d4. That means that in 3 rounds they're going to break free.
Which horses are they?
The ones you do see, you see 3 of the stolen horses. So you do not see the white horse yet. They are further in the brush because they were very prized. So you hid them even better. But you can try to find them if you like.
I'm gonna try to hit this guy.
With what?
With my staff.
This guy right here? The guy that lost his short sword to Reginald?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you roll me an attack roll? He hasn't gone yet, so he can choose to dodge if... Let's see if you hit. Okay, so you failed. Would you like to push the roll, perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay, what condition do you want to take?
Angry.
Angry. Oh no. Okay.
Right.
Still, he senses you behind him and ducks over your first swing, and your second swing barely hits him, almost hits him in the face, but you step on a stone and turn your ankle, which makes you miss.
Oh.
So next up is him. And what he does is he starts to move toward the underbrush where his short sword went. That's all he does. And I'm going to say he's going to have to roll a... it's going to take him 2 rounds, 2 turns to find it instead of 1, which is normally what it takes to pick up an item because it's hidden. Okay, the final one. He rushes into Reginald on the other side, flanking him, swings his short sword, and let's do a target and slashes at you. Okay, but you sidestep. Your old bones still have it, Reginald, and his blade just cuts into the soil, spraying up some dirt. And Louis, last but not least, Louis, as everyone rushes into the battle, what does Louis do?
So Louis gonna stay back just a little bit.
Okay.
One thing. I think he is going to. Oh god. I can't unselect it.
What do you have selected? Okay.
Oh, I had the measuring tape selected on accident. So he's gonna move over here behind this tree, and then he's going to pull out the didgeridoo. But instead of giving a boon to everybody, he's going to try and mimic the what was it called? I had the name before. What was the first like big creature that we fought in like that cave?
Oh, it was the basilisk.
The basilisk. So he's gonna try to mimic the basilisk's like sound and roar and growl, like from the tree line. And that's gonna give a bane to all enemy rolls until my next turn.
I like it. Nice, nice. Okay. Cool. And don't forget, you guys can always switch turn order if you'd like to. You guys can wait. So that's an option in this game. All right, we'll go on to the next round. So you guys hear this very discordant sound. It's quite musical though to the players' ears, but discordant. You see the other robed figures grimace, and that brings us to Day. So you're hovering at the tree line, Day. What would you like to do?
Day is going to wait her turn. She'll go after Reginald.
Okay, so you're gonna swap initiative. Oops. Oh, you did it already? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to this guy. So he, on his turn, all he does is he finally snatches up with glee his short sword and spins on his heel to face Reginald again. That's all he can do. Which brings us to Reginald. What would you like to do?
Reginald is going to... That's not his name. He's going to target the dude on his left and strike him with the battle axe.
All right. Let's try it.
And it's just going to be a slashing... That, my child, is what we call a hit, I believe.
Okay, yeah, you catch him unawares and he does not choose to dodge. He feels like he has the upper hand. He can take some damage perhaps, but we'll see. Okay, 9. Wow.
Not bad, not bad. Not bad, I mean.
So
sorry.
yeah, your blade meets his chest and cuts through what meager padding he has there, which is not much at all. And he staggers back a few steps, taken aback because he thought he had the better of an old man. Do you want to move or anything, Reginald, or are you good where you are?
I'm good where I am.
Okay. That brings us to Day. What would Day like to do?
She can't do much of anything. She's just gonna take a step back and yeah,
Just kind of get hide further into the trees?
yes.
Is she trying to hide or like be concealed at all, or is she just...
No, basically she's trying to find a way in to heal Reginald if necessary without getting
see.
smacked in the face by the hooligans.
Okay.
But she doesn't need to yet.
So this guy, you can see his eyes go wide as he's recovering from your axe blow, and he tries to back up. He's getting ready to book it, which gives you a free attack, Reginald.
Well, don't mind if I do. Which is...
Okay, that succeeds.
Here comes the damage.
Oh, dang. 15 points of damage to this guy. It absolutely destroys him. What is the fate of this gentleman?
The axe blade just goes through his neck and blood bursts forth and he drops dead. He doesn't cut his head off, but yeah, a nice deep cut.
Okay.
Straight across.
All right, he crumples to the ground like a rag doll, spewing blood, which brings us to this guy right here. He stands firm and tries to attack Reginald.
Good luck with that.
He slashes down with a short sword. Ooh, and he connects. So you already wait, did you get... Yeah, you already went, so you cannot dodge or anything.
So, when do we declare the parry? Here's the thing. I have a heroic ability called defensive, which means that I can, in fact, parry an attack without consuming my action for the round. It's a bonus parry. And it can be used at any time during the round. That
Is
is why I
it-
was like, oh yeah, I can definitely just parry anytime I want. But I need to activate this defensive heroic ability.
What's it called again?
Defensive.
Defensive.
Yes.
Hey, we got Ponty 2000 in the chat. Welcome. Yes, we are back. Welcome back. I'm glad you were able to join us tonight. So I just want to read that to make sure it's not an ability that you have to... Wait a second here. This means that you cannot parry if you have already had your turn of the round, but see the heroic defense. Okay, so I was just saying if you already went, if you could do it again, and it appears to be that is the case. So you want to try to parry this attack?
Yes.
Okay.
I must declare before I roll, or
damage.
before you roll for damage.
Correct.
Indeed.
So I guess you're
How-
declaring it.
Yes. I'm gonna first of all activate the defensive. Now, how do I roll to parry?
I think if you just click on defensive, will that bring it up?
No, that just.
Oh, there's a parry ability. I think, right? Isn't there a skill parry?
There is. No way.
Sorry, guys. It's been a while. Let me
No,
look at the...
I mean it's probably just a strength roll.
Or it's a weapons roll.
weapons roll.
Parrying, da-da-da-da.
This is fun. When parrying, you roll against your skill level for the weapon. There we
Okay,
go.
so it's just like another attack roll.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
23
roll the...
sessions. We'll get it, guys. We'll get it. It's been a little while
Yeah.
since we played this game.
So he's gonna try to parry with his battle axe.
Oh, but you roll a 17, which is a failure. Are you going to try to push it?
I am gonna try to push it.
Okay.
You bastard, he says,
Oh,
and
success.
succeeds. He's now very angry.
Okay. So you meet Blades with this individual, and he does not connect. Which brings us to Louis. Oh, I forgot everybody had a Bane anyway. So I wasn't rolling that. Whoops.
Oops.
I don't think I attacked
Um,
any... Well, he missed anyway. Whatever.
I'm gonna switch places with
Serial?
Serial.
Okay. So let me swap initiative with Serial. So Serial, you're up. As blood is drawn and this cloaked man falls in a heap of blood and dust. What would you want to do?
I'm gonna try to come over here and flank this guy and hit him.
Okay. So you move around this guy. Why don't you roll me an attack roll?
Wait. So this guy's going for a sword. He hasn't gotten it yet, right?
No, he did. He snatched it up on his second turn, yeah.
Scratch that. Continue on with the plan. If I'm angry, do I have like a bane or anything? No.
You do have a Bane. If you're angry, it's to your intelligence. Which I don't think you're using right now anyway.
So normal roll.
You know what I should have done as well? I'm going to roll this and see what happens. Because you guys are in a force, and because I've been very lacking in using the improvised weapons, which is really fucking cool in this game, I'm going to say, so if you don't want to roll quite yet, Serial, you notice there is a viper hanging from a tree nearby, and the way this improvised weapon works, you can roll bushcraft to pick up the snake and throw it at an enemy within 10 meters. The enemy gets bitten, which inflicts d6 damage and a lethal poison with potency 12 if the bite pierces armor. The attacker can be dodged. The attack can be dodged but not parried. But if the bushcraft roll fails, the snake bites you instead.
That's cool, but I already rolled.
Oh, you failed the staff attack? Okay. So for next time,
Would have been cool.
next time, we'll do that next time. And you know what? Because I failed, I'll let you do it if you want to do it instead of in lieu of your, we'll just keep the same roll being a 9. Do you want to do it?
Wait, you're keeping my failure? I don't want to get bit.
Well, you rolled a 9. That would be a success for you in bushcraft.
Oh. Yes.
Your bushcraft's high.
Let's do that.
Okay, so you dash by and grab this viper hanging from the tree and hurl it at this this guy. So you can be a little farther away if you'd like. You don't have to be within melee range if you want to.
All right.
So let's say you see it hanging over here or over here. So if you want to be
I
away,
jump off this guy's dead body, grab the viper, and
I like it.
yeah, throw it.
Okay.
And
So,
hopefully-
yeah, this snake flies at him, and he turns, and it lands right on his cheek and sinks its fangs deep. So he's gonna suffer. Why don't you roll me a d6? Okay, so 2 points of damage plus a lethal poison, so he suffers 2. So with lethal poison, I have to roll a... I think it is... Sorry, guys. Remembering rules. I believe it's a constant... Or a... what is it? Is it a... Let me look it up here. Apologies. Poison, lethal. Okay, so poisons, weak poison. Okay, so it has a potency of 12. So he has to roll a con. So an opposed roll between the potency of your con. If the poison wins, you suffer the full effect. Okay. And if
Gets a bane.
And he gets a bane because it has not been your turn yet. Oh shit. Okay. And he's gonna have a low. I think it's a 10, right? That's the average. So here we go. Let's roll this d20. Actually, I gotta roll 2d20 because it's baned. Okay, and he definitely fails. As you see these black lines start to just spiderweb out from his cheek as the poison affects him. And that's really shitty for this guy. So d6 damage per round is a lethal poison full effect on your turn until you reach 0 HP. If you consume an antidote in time, the effect is halted. So yeah, this viper is just anchored. He is staked to this man's cheek and he's flailing, trying to tear it off as the poison runs deep. So Louis, you're up. Unless Serial, you'd like to move elsewhere.
No. Well, I'll move closer to this horse. Maybe try
Okay.
to climb it if I can.
And we got iced coffee in the chat. Welcome. Thank you for watching our old videos, and we're all doing great. We're excited to kick off the second leg of this campaign. Okay. So next round of combat begins with Louis. Wow, look at that. Ended with Louis, begins with Louis.
I'll take it.
Unless you want to swap, it's up to you.
So, because I have the memory of a walnut, my movement is 8. Does that mean I can move 8 meters? Like...
So it's kind of weird in this game. Yes, 8 meters, which means every square is 2 meters, so that's be 4 squares. But you can hit
Okay.
control and drag and foundry, and that will give you the actual meter distance. So you can just use that.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm gonna move closer to that guy. Oh, there we go. And what is the? So I'm assuming range means meters, right? Not squares. For like a weapon.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so the
Okay.
number is the amount of meters, yeah.
Still out of range.
What are you trying to use?
My sword. I think I'm 4
Oh.
meters away. I need to be 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to be right in melee distance with a sword, yep.
In that case, I'm going to use my sling.
Okay. Which guy? The guy who just found his sword in the brush? This guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, the sling failed. Will Louis push the roll?
Yeah. He is going to get a little angry because he lined up his shot. He should have hit it.
Okay, fair enough.
Son of...
Okay, unfortunately, you're too damn angry, man. You go full Donald Duck on this guy. All right, so next up is Reginald.
Yes, Reginald facing his foe to the south.
With a Viper. He's very
Yes.
preoccupied. So I'm going to give you a boon to your roll if you'd like.
I would like that. And he's going to do an overhand chop, slashing damage. Oh, Christ almighty.
For the listeners out there, he rolled a demon and a 14.
Yes. I only saw the demon because my microphone was in the way.
You still succeeded, though, with a 14.
Yes, but now I have to change my pants. Anywho, here comes the damage.
Well, you know what they
Ooh.
say about older folks, right? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, wow, 17.
Yes, have some
So-
damage.
Yeah, that destroys this guy. So why don't you tell me, while he is struggling to get this Viper off the side of his face, facing you down, while your battle axe blade hurls forward, what happens?
The overhead, I keep wanting to say overhead throw, but downward motion comes the axe and splits his head. Logs itself into his forehead.
And you have to take a moment to kind of
Yeah.
put your foot on his chest and
Give
drag
me
it
back
out.
my axe. And maybe he kicks him in the chest.
Okay.
And the man falls backwards. And then Reginald turns to the last one.
Okay, so he's still in the forest. Day is up next, hovering nearby.
Yes. So, watch this. I realized that Day actually does have an attack. It's unarmed. So she, seeing her friend get damaged, she gets right up in the last one's face and starts clawing.
Oh wow.
And that's
Okay.
an unarmed attack.
Which should be a strength attack, I guess. Right?
Yes, its strength is 6. So good luck, everyone. And it's just an attack.
What did you
How
roll?
you doing? Not a problem.
Wow! And she rolls a 4.
Yes.
Okay. Clawing at his face, he sees these claw marks coming. So what he does is he tries to dodge it. Let's see if he's able to evade. No Banes on the board, I believe. Louis' discordant tune is now over. Oh my god, he fails. Utterly fails. So why don't you roll me some damage on the claws?
I will target this feller, and here we go.
2 points of damage. Rake
Indeed.
down his face, and he shrieks in pain, looking around left and right to try to find any one of his other comrades. And his action is done, but he attempts to run. He sees everybody. He looks at the guy with the cleaved head. He looks at the guy with the cleaved neck, and decides to try to bolt. He heads out this way, which gives Day a free attack. So if you'd like to roll and try to attack again, you may.
Trying my luck. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, she's going to try to swipe at his leg, do a topple.
Oh,
What
look
a
at that. A mishap.
massive
We rolled
failure.
a demon.
Jesus.
So, you drop your weapon at your feet, picking it up as that. Well,
Her
how?
hands fall off.
Oh man. Okay, so I'll just say like you break a nail or a claw or something, and so if you'd like to attack
the
another
bastard.
round, you have to wait. It's going to take a round for you to recover. Let's just play it that way. So what
Sure.
this guy does, he tries to just take off. He's got 10 movement, so he's going to go 10 meters. He makes it to here, trying
Would
to
Louis
run
get
for
a-
the hills. Did he roll within melee? Let's see. Yeah, you're right. So he runs right by Louis. He did not see. So Louis, he's in melee range. If you'd like to take a free attack at him,
Sure.
what do you got?
So I think I would have to do
Oh, you got your sword. That's right.
unarmed, maybe, but I'm gonna try to trip him instead.
Okay, so mechanically that is what is that? Topple? No?
Yes.
Topple?
Yep.
Okay.
Topple. Oh, okay. I can topple with my. I think I can do that with the sword too.
So topple, yeah, you try to topple an enemy to the ground instead of inflicting damage. This is handled with an opposed roll between your skill level and the weapon you are using. The enemy's evade. So is that what you want to try to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just have to roll an evade and see what happens.
Topple.
Oh, it's going to be tough to beat that roll. That is a 2. Yes. So you try to trip him, but he just fancy footworks right over your tripping maneuver, and he makes it all the way to this pile of rocks heading for the depths of the forest. There appears to be another pathway, a narrow pathway leading that way. So next up is Sariel. What would you like to do, Sariel? You can always grab the viper from the cheek of the fallen man and hurl it 10 meters if you'd like.
Yeah, this might be my new favorite attack. I was just about to ask if there's any vipers around. So.
Yeah, you could. Well, there's one right by you, so I'll say you could like quickly, you could run over there, pick it up. Whoosh. Why not?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. That sounds cool. And if you are standing right here, yeah, you could throw it from right here if you wanted to. It's within range. So
Bushcraft?
this is going to be a bushcraft roll. Yep, and let's see what happens. Oh wait, no, you shouldn't be
Well, I'm
baned.
angry.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit. You're
Wait,
angry.
Consideration last time.
So would you like to push the roll because you rolled a 19?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it'll be a bane.
If I fail, it bites me. Ah.
Yes.
And it's
Would-
deadly. And I don't have viper.
Deadly poison. Correct. It is lethal poison.
Shouldn't have done this.
Potency 12.
All right. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared now.
Oh shit! You're doing it.
What?
Oh man, you failed. You rolled a.
Pushing
You had a bane.
Yeah, I know.
Did you push it? Okay.
But
so,
I'm trying not to get bit. You know?
Well, no. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you're right. So, what I need you to do is roll me. Luckily, your con is 15, so I need you to roll me a con check. It's at the top of your character sheet. And if you succeed, what did you get? You got a 10, so you succeed, meaning lethal poison, limited effect. You take d6 damage on your next turn. Okay, so you don't even suffer that now. But luckily, it's not the full effect. So it's a good thing you're a healthy Healthy lass. Okay, but unfortunately, yeah, you don't quite get a good grip on the snake, or I'll say you do and you hurl it, but then it like bites you on its way out and it falls to the ground and slithers between some rocks.
Okay.
All right, so next round of combat. Serial, you're up again. So I need to roll. Let me roll d6 because that'll be your poison damage. So you take 1 point of damage, which is no big deal.
No big deal. All right. Wait. Ah. How do I fix this? Okay. Okay. I guess I'll run up and try to hit him with the stick again.
Okay, so yeah. Why don't you roll me an attack? I'll give you a boon as well. So why don't you roll another? Yeah, let me trash that. So why don't you roll with a boon because he's desperately trying to run away, fleeing for his life. Okay, you succeed with your staff. And he's not even bother dodging because he's just trying to get away. So he's not going to take his turn. He's going to take the damage, which is 9 points of damage. Oh, man. So you clock him up beside the head, and you immediately see his eye go red. Like you burst something in his head. And it's almost like, one of his eyes grows dark as blood fills it. And he's kind of staggering. Even a little bit of blood, oddly enough, is coming from his mouth, but also it's spilling from his ears and his nose. So you walloped him pretty good. He's up next. So he is going to dash into the forest. His full movement, which is off the map technically. So I'm gonna have to roll. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll I'll roll an evade. Okay, so he stumbles at the very edge of the map. He doesn't make it away, but he's starting to get up as it is Reginald's turn. So you can either let him go or chase him down. It's up to you.
I think Day is going to tell him not to follow. Don't follow him. He's running away. Forget about him. But fine. I suppose 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Okay. So you hold your position. Day holds her position. Louis, you're the last one.
Actually,
go ahead.
Well, while Louis is doing whatever he's doing, Day is going to heal her friend.
Okay, so you can do your healing. Roll for your healing.
Yes.
And Louis, you hear the you're within earshot, so you hear them saying, don't follow, whatever, but whatever you'd like to do. Oh man, Day rolled a 19, which is an uber fail.
Based.
Louis is gonna move up a little bit and just one last pot shot with his sling.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh no, a mishap!
So
we have
many.
another dragon. Why don't you click on that mishap ranged thing and let's see what happens. So you drop your weapon at your feet, picking it up. Oh, that's it? That's not that big of a deal. But
for someone like Louis, it's so much.
yeah. So you drop this weapon. Obviously, you fumble the attack completely, and he disappears into the darkness of the woods, which brings us to the very end of combat. And I forgot to freaking do this, but these horses ran away. These 3 horses that you see. They made it through the 3rd round.
Those were the horses that we had tied up.
Yeah. Well, the ones you took from you stole them from the Road's End Inn.
Right.
So, you guys catch your breath, nurse your wounds. The horses run off, fleeing in fright, as well as the last surviving a robed bandit cultist. You didn't quite get a good glimpse. But yeah, you were there in this forest clearing on the path. The old gentleman that was, I guess, cleaning his axe now. What would you guys like to do?
Thank you. Thank you for helping. That is mighty kind of you.
Well, you can't just go around trying to eat horses, you know.
What? Eating horses, you said?
Yes, your friend said they were trying to eat the horses.
He looks at his companion. Did you say that? I did say that, yes. Well, that is not true. These men have been following us for, I guess, a few days now. They were after her. Points to the winged creature. My name is Reginald. That over there is day. As in day and night. It's only the first part of that phrase. Hello.
You said your name was Sir Reginald. You're a knight.
Did I? I don't think I did. I am no knight, sir.
See, you just said sir.
Yes,
Your name's
well,
Reginald.
I called you, sir. I called you, sir. Maybe you are a master or a lord or something. I don't know. Oh, my old bones.
But speaking of knights, have you seen, possibly a tall, wolf-looking man pass by you?
No. I have seen many knights in my day, of course, but, no wolf-looking man. In fact, it is unusual that we see a mallard, such as yourself, or and he kind of examines said elf for a bit, and an elf. I spotted the ears, miss. Oh, I see.
Serial.
You're the face of the group, I guess, he says to Louis.
I guess we could say the same about your bat-cat companion.
Bad cat.
Yes, she is an unusual creature. I think I'm unique, she says, with a sexy Irish accent. And when I don't speak as her with an Irish accent, I want you guys to imagine that's what's happening.
I'm hearing a high-pitched Sean Connery.
He's Scottish, but
Scottish.
okay.
Dead. I'm still hearing it.
Nice.
Yes, may I ask what you're doing here? Were these
Well-
your horses?
More or less.
Technically.
Our horses are actually further in the trees here, I believe. Can I check?
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, you were using... What is your ability? Was it animal companion? Was it just companion?
Yeah.
And that was to woo the black horse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Companion, okay, willpower points. How long does it last? You can activate this ability to turn an animal, not monster. It takes a stretch of time. You can only have one animal at a time. The GM decides to challenge it.
We did tie them to trees, though.
No, I know. I'm just reading to see if there's a duration to this at all. Okay, no, there isn't. So, yeah, you make your way through the brush, and you see your horse, Sariel, the white horse, as well as the black horse. They're standing there, tethered where they were, kind of stretching up to reach some low-hanging leaves of the trees, munching on them.
Nice.
So 2 horses, the black one and the white one.
Okay.
The one who
I'm
belongs
gonna
to the man
untie them.
seeking you.
I'm gonna
Okay.
untie them and bring them out here.
Okay. You lead them out.
Well, I'm Sariel. Since you introduced yourself.
I did, yes.
And this is...
You may not know me, but I'm Louis, and you've probably heard some of my ballads, actually.
Like this one, and he's just gonna play like a wow 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 on the didgeridoo.
Nice. Okay, cool.
That sounds familiar. Sure. I've never heard
Thank you.
it.
I wrote it myself.
Oh, wait, I forgot I have the didgeridoo soundboard, so let's hear what that sounds like, maybe. Unmute my interface. I thought it was unmuted. Oh, wait, there we go. Let's
We
see.
can all hear it, I think.
Oh, you can hear it? Oh, it must
Yeah.
have been just me. Okay. Sorry, you guys heard it. I didn't hear it. Why is it not? Anyway, you guys probably heard it again. Okay. Scratch that. Foundry error. Sorry. Go ahead.
And Day...
No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
There you
there it
go.
goes.
Okay, fine. Day is gonna pick up a couple of rocks and say, "Look, I can juggle." And she tries to juggle. Can I roll a performance?
I'm not going to require it unless you really want to.
I really want to.
Okay, roll a performance then if you'd like to roll a performance.
That's a massive failure.
Is
Yeah,
that why you
so-
wanted to roll it? Because
Yes.
to fail? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't know, she gets 3 stones and 2 of them just disappear into the woods immediately. I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm practicing. She says, and is embarrassed.
Well, if you get better, you could totally juggle during one of my songs, and I'll give you profit, like, 1090.
That sounds like a great deal.
It is. I made it myself.
I don't know anything about money. But yes, but I need to practice. You need to take care of my wounds, says Reginald. Oh, I suppose I do.
Oh, yes. No, we have a friend who could help you.
And he's gonna go turn around as he's in the middle of saying,
Dare. Oh. Never mind.
Oh.
Yes, we used to be two more to this party. But it is now just us.
Huh. What a coincidence then that you've just ran into 2 more people. That is so strange.
Very strange. Yes.
So what brings you out here to this fine forest?
Oh, it is a long story. Is it possible that we can sit down, maybe take a short rest, and have a little conversation? I feel like I owe you after you coming to my aid.
Sure.
Certainly. I'm starving.
I'm gonna tie
Okay.
the horses back up.
You're gonna tie. You guys are gonna stay here.
I guess.
Okay.
I think we should move off of the road a little bit.
Get off
Get off the road.
Cue
How
the
was I not
Frodo. I know. You always love to say that. So yeah, there's I'll remind you again, there's two very dead bodies lying on the forest floor.
But first, I will need to loot these bodies. Hold on.
So you, Reginald, make your way over and begin to loot these bodies. You find 10 silver each. Sorry, 10 silver per body. You find 4 provisions of food, 4 rations, so 2 per. And other than that, you find their short swords that they were using as weapons. But other than
Nice.
that, and the clothes on their body, that's it. You guys notice though. Why don't you actually, you know what? I'll say Sariel and Louis, you see him kind of rifling through their belongings, and he exposes the arm of one of them. And you see a very familiar tattoo there on the flesh, which is the same one you saw on the arms of the cultists that were hanging from the stone arch on one of the main roads leading to Outskirt. And you do know that that is the tattoo of the demon Sathmog. So, a cultist of Sathmog.
Siriel, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm starting to see more and more of these cultists around.
Yes, it is a bit odd, isn't it?
It is. If I didn't know any better, and I probably don't, I'd say that there's probably a cult nearby.
Indeed. Should we pull these bodies off the road and find a spot to rest?
That is a good plan. I
And
like
as-
it.
And as these words come out of your mouth, Reginald, and you guys begin to gather the bodies, something strange happens. It starts to darken. Even though you guys know it's morning, you haven't been traveling very long. And it's almost as if the sun completely sets. But rather than a starry sky, the sky is very black. And a rain begins to fall. But the strange thing about it is it's warm as it touches your flesh. It's so dark out here you guys can't quite see it, but you swear, even in the darkness, what little light there is, it's dark as it touches your flesh and your clothes.
Day?
Does it smell like rain?
No, it doesn't. It smells very metallic.
This is
Day? Do your thing.
fine.
I'm sorry.
What does Day do?
Oh. Right. She snaps her fingers and there's light. Sorry, GM.
How does light work with day?
So, she can create a bright light that shines from a focus of her choice. It
Okay.
illuminates 10 meters
10
radius.
meters. Okay, let's do 10 meters
It-
from...
Doesn't cost me more than one.
dim 10... 5... And it's just like a white light?
Yeah, bright light, it says.
All right. So there is the bright light. Where's day? Where's her
He's
token?
next
She's right
to
there.
next to
So
Reginald.
I'll put it right there. So yeah, you guys see this radius of light shoot out around you, illuminating the forest. And you guys are all taken aback as you see the water, or well, what you thought was water falling from the sky as rain, is as red as blood.
This is
I'm just
not
gonna-
good.
Duck underneath a tree.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can totally take cover under the trees if you'd like.
Day and Reginald also hides.
Okay. I wish the rain would show up in Foundry. I don't know why it's not working. Let me try this way. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, you guys take cover. Dry enough, protected enough as this red rain falls.
I don't know what this means, but I don't think it could be good.
No.
Seems very strange.
Indeed.
And you
Except
hear a voice,
for-
Reginald.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
Shit.
No, go
No,
ahead,
no.
Reginald. Go. You
No, I
okay?
was gonna say something nonsensical about does it look like it's acid on the ground or something like that?
No, it's not acid. It looks and smells like blood.
Nice.
But you hear a voice, Reginald, the one actually that led you here. And it says, "Time is short. Do not linger long." And that's all.
Uh,
Did we hear anything?
You hear nothing. I guess you hear Reginald kind of looking around. Or you see him looking around.
Is something the matter?
maybe. I don't think that we should stay here much longer.
Where do you propose we go?
Well, I don't know. But we probably shouldn't stand under these trees for much longer.
I hate to say it, but we might have to head back to town.
I've never been in a town.
They're quite nice. They're full of people and food.
I like food.
Me too. I can tell we're gonna be good friends.
Now, Day. I don't think that you'll be coming into town. Even if we go to town, I don't think that you'll be joining us. Why not? Because no one has seen a creature like you before. We are not taking the chance of them trying to lock you up again. But Dad... She doesn't say that. What, really? She gets upset. And sort of grumbles. I guess not. I guess I'm not going to town then.
Louis is going to suggest that one of the cloaks that the cultist was wearing could help conceal some features.
Is she small? She's small, right?
Yeah, how big is she?
Yes, she is. She's young, but Karakians are kind of tall as it is. They're not as tall as elves, but I mean, she's like human 12-year-old basically.
So like
Malnourished, very thin as well.
if she stood on Louis, or if Louis stood on her shoulders and they put a cloak over top, would she like elf height?
Are elves
They have
tall in
a
this game?
6 strength. I'd probably just drop him immediately.
Did we find out that mallards were actually smaller than halflings? I feel like that was a thing.
Yeah, actually, somebody generously on our Discord server, you guys should join it if you like. There's a link in the description. But I think they put up a, it was actually from the past game, the original release of the game in Sweden. And I think there was a, let me see if I can find it. There was a height chart with all of the different kin. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I can ride a horse.
No, I think
You need help
can't
getting up on the horse, at least.
That's true. Miniature horse I could do, you know, or goat.
Miniature
A pony.
horse. Pony.
Yeah.
Ooh, a Shetland horse. The Icelandic. Little tiny ponies. Yeah, no, that is absolutely true.
Is there a height requirement to ride horses? I would imagine you have to be more than like 2 feet tall.
Well, you're not. I don't think you're that small. I think you were like halfling height, something like that. You and Darrow were probably pretty close. Man, I
It
wish
was
I
like
could
something
find
like
that.
3.5 or something.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's halfling height, wasn't it?
The halfling you speak of was 2'8".
Oh, that's right. You were a smaller than usual halfling.
How do you know this?
A voice told me, maybe.
Very suspicious.
Who's this halfling you're talking about? Sounds like a wonderful person.
Yes, he was pretty interesting. Very stinky, but yes, maybe wonderful is a good word.
Speaking of wonderful, are you at all familiar with the shepherd? No, it doesn't say that either.
Like, I don't know.
So we're taking is it a shift rest? Or a stretch rest?
No, you guys were going to, I believe, take a stretch rest, which is about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is only morning. You guys don't need to stop down, stop for the night. You just have to rest for one shift per day, and there are 4 shifts in a day. So you guys can recover 1 condition, as well as hit points if you need that, and willpower points. And you can only do this once per shift, I believe, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which is it? The first one?
No, it's the second button.
So you guys are resting, recovering. Time passes. You hear something in the distance. It sounds like feet crunching through foliage. And you hear, "I think I heard it over here." "No, it's the other way." "Oh, quiet! You louder than me." So you hear those voices in the distance. And you
Do we
can tell which direction they're coming from.
Do we recognize the voices at all?
No, you don't actually.
Is it still pouring blood?
Yes.
I like how we all just kind of got accustomed to that.
I know. It's raining blood. And you hear that, "What is all this blood coming from the sky?" "I think he's weeping." "No, he never weeps, you fool. Quiet."
Do they sound close enough to where they'd hear us if we started moving? If we untied horses and galloped away?
Yeah, I would say they could potentially hear you, which means I would require some fancy footwork on your part if you would like to do it quietly. But they are approaching. The sound is slowly, or steadily, I should say, getting louder.
To help Serial, I'm going to... I know we're not in combat, but I'm going to utilize 3 willpower points to didgeridoo it. But I'm going to do the scary noise again to hopefully deter.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, why don't you, so you're going to do musician, so, or do you want to just do if you want, you can do a performance roll.
Okay.
To try to, basically scare them away or deter them from coming this way. Whatever. I mean, let's just see what happens. Or,
Sweet.
you know, if you fail, here's the thing though. You're going to make a sound and they're going to know exactly where you are.
Ooh.
Where's thinking out?
Does he mention this to the rest of?
I don't know. That's totally up to. And your performance is 15,
Yes.
so you have a really good chance. But talk amongst yourselves if you'd like.
We know
Does
how
he-
well good chances help us out here.
But does he share this with Day and Reginald? Because
I think Louis
if he
just
does-
it. But do you?
Yeah,
do you
I think
let
the
them
only
know?
warning you'd get is him pulling out the didgeridoo.
Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, you guys see him pulling out his weapon, or not his weapon, his instrument.
But this is going to be as Serial is untying the horses if she's doing that.
Well, yeah. Is that what you'd like to do, Serial? Do you kind of think you got to get a move on and you're trying to sneak out of here, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So
but there
I'm
are
gonna
4
require-
horses, I'm guessing. Are there 4 horses or?
I'm
2.
afraid not. There's one big horse, though. You could share with the duck.
I think I'll share with my partner here.
Well, your partner flies, no?
Well, she can't fly. I can't fly for very long.
I see.
I'm still
So-
just a baby.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Louis, with your musician ability. So it does require you to make a sound. So
Right.
if you do use it, you would definitely give her a boon on her roll, but you're making a sound, meaning that somebody might hear you exactly where you are.
Okay. I
But
would
if you'd
imagine,
like
though,
to-
if the sound succeeds, would it sound scary to them?
No, because it's aiding her, I guess. But what I would rule as well, though, if you rather than doing that, if you'd like to roll a performance roll to deter them, perhaps play something that might sound like a ghost haunting the woods, let's say. I would
Okay.
allow that as well. So you can have one or the other. You can either give her a boon on a roll. However, there's potentially they might hear exactly where you are, or you could try to roll a performance check to deter them, scare them away maybe, but also if you fail, you're still playing a sound in the middle of the woods.
I'm going to go with performance. I feel like I have a
Okay.
better chance.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yes. Okay, so you play. Why don't you describe it? What kind of thing does Louis do? What does he play to perhaps scare them? Is he like throwing the sound to like send them elsewhere, or is he just trying to create this monstrous sound to scare them away?
So he's going to start it out of this kind of like low growl that's going to
Mhm.
kind of pick up, and then he's going to take a deep breath and blow as hard as he can to get kind of like a higher pitched, almost like elephant-esque, sound,
Okay.
but more monster sounding.
I like it. I like it. Okay. So I'm going to have, they hear this sound, and let's see here. I'm going to make it like an opposed roll, and they're fearful. Let's see. Fear attacks. So I got to make a roll against will. And their will is going to be really, really low. I'll just roll 1 for everybody. Okay, yeah. So you play this horrendous, monstrous, just alien sound that has never been heard by the likes of man, wolfkin, halflingkin, mallard, elf. And you hear just the footsteps coming toward you just come to a dead stop. What was that? I don't know. I don't like it. Well, it's going to hit our horses. We have to keep moving on. And then you don't hear anything else after that. You don't hear any more movement. You don't hear any more voices. And then you hear a shriek, and then another shriek, and you hear the sound of footsteps receding away and away and away and away. And as this happens, Tarot. As this happens, the rain stops. And the sun returns.
Shit.
And you guys are drenched in blood. Well, not completely, because you guys took cover. So you got a little bit of blood on you. It's scabbing on your clothes, you might say, and your armor. But the sun is out again. The mist has returned.
So is Serial's horse pink now?
Well, I guess the horse is kind of under, maybe a little pink. Yeah, maybe a little pink. Yeah,
Half pink. Racing stripe.
half pink. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, guy.
Day takes one of the cloaks.
Okay.
Now, her wings are not as big as in that official art, because she is a tiny baby. But it's definitely not like just draped smoothly over her shoulder.
But she can probably tuck her wings, fold her wings, right? To a degree.
Yes.
Okay.
But of course, there's the panther head.
Yeah, that too. So you don this cloak, Day, and you kind of shiver. You feel just a chill on your skin as you remember these men. And how they tried to take you away.
She's gonna take off the cloak. She doesn't like wearing it. She stuffs it in her bag, or probably in Reginald's bag, and is like, I'll save it for later. If we get to a city or something. You're not gonna go into any cities. Well, maybe I'll save it and make a dress or something. Maybe. It's fine by me. Oh, thank you. Etc.
So as the misty veil returns to its mistiness, its familiar mistiness, and you guys dry off and clean off to the best of your ability, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna look today real quick. So I'm trying to do her accent now. It's
You
Nice
have
cricket
this
dress.
accent.
the Irish.
Oh
is-
yeah.
So you are one of a kind, he says.
I think so. I've never seen anyone like me.
Well, that begs the question, where did you come from? You have no parents.
I don't remember them, no. I've been in a cage for most of my life. Yes, you see, when I found her, she was in a cage, like you said. I did say that. Yes, you did. Calm down. We only have a few minutes to go. And these ruffians who we dispatched, well, there were a few more that I killed. They were poking her. They were harassing her. Well, I ran up and murdered a few of them, and these three got away. They ran away, of course, and then I saved the girl, and they came after us. Yes, it seems that she's been in this cage for a very long time. I have been. I don't remember anything, but before the guys that you killed, well, I killed also, there was another man. His name was Gibbs, and he had been in his cage for all my life, I think, or think. So they, from what I understand, he sold me to them.
So you both are new friends.
Yes.
Okay. Well, where are you headed?
Well, if I knew that. I came here. Well, it's a strange story, but I came here because I heard a voice in the sky who told me to come here. And I got so scared that I simply left my... I was in Lord Hopwink's retinue. I'm sure you're familiar. Anywho, I left. Came here, walked around for about 2 months until I found a day. Yes, you were asking about the voice. No, you weren't, but I forgot to mention that. Yes, the voice told me to come here, and the sky opened up. This is going to freak you out. The sky opened up, and I saw something. A blinding light and a horned figure. Very, very menacing looking. It scared me so much that I didn't even tell my lord that I was leaving. I just left immediately.
You think this has anything to do with the blood rain?
I don't know. I am but a simple fighter. I am not a scholar, let's say.
Interesting.
Someone with deep knowledge.
Well, do we go back to town? I have to warn you, it's a little dangerous for me to go back to town, but...
As someone who travels a lot, could I roll myths and legends to see if I might possibly guess what kind of horned creature he's talking about? Or if there's anything that Louis may have heard, something peeking out from the sky?
Yeah, or you could ask him more information as well to kind of clue you in to see if, basically if you learn a little bit more, maybe I would just tell you.
This figure you saw in the sky, did he have anything to do with the markings that are on these cultists?
I don't know that either, but perhaps But perhaps if I look to the sky, if I look to my right here on the... No, if I look to my left here on the Zoom call, maybe... maybe I do have additional information. But I didn't see much. I only saw a silhouette. Think of the Hobbit. The necromancer in the Hobbit. That is pretty much all I know.
So I'll say, Louis, that you piece this together and you've heard the legends of this demon, potentially rising up slowly in the Misty Vale. So you think these two things could potentially be connected, or perhaps he's just a crazy old man with visions.
Louis is gonna jot in his little notebook
Right demon song.
for later.
Love it.
He'll take inspiration where he can get it.
Yeah. Okay. So, time passes. You guys hang out for a little bit, collect yourselves, have some conversation, learn of each other. Yes, you have your hand raised.
Yes, so Day is going to stare at Seriel.
Okay.
With like big eyes.
Unblinking.
Well,
he's looking right in the camera. He's looking at the ball.
She's fascinated, basically. She's like, what in the hell is that? She doesn't say that, but that's the vibe. Also, she doesn't say hell, but she's fascinated by this elf. She's never seen an elf before.
Mm.
So, with your ears, can you hear really well?
I mean, maybe a little better than the average human.
Because Louis doesn't have any ears.
What?
What? Perfect response.
What was the fuck did you say?
He doesn't very well.
So you're an elf. Where are you from? I want to know more about you. You're so tall.
Hmm. Yes. Well,
Are you from the forest, or
yes.
I saw you used your staff. Is that your weapon of choice?
No.
No?
No. I tend to use arrows, but I lost them.
Hmm.
Why
If
do
only
you-
there were twigs and stuff around us to make new ones.
Yes, good idea. Maybe I should. If we're just sitting here talking, then I'll grab some twigs and start making some arrows.
Okay, so mechanically, does this work? Do you have to roll crafting or anything, or does it just happen? Where did you read this, Mats, in the rule book? I would love to know.
So, well, let's see if I
Or did you
can
make it up?
find the cursor.
Oh, I see.
here.
Arrows. As long as you have the quiver, you can use your weapon, sling stones. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Crafting. So crafting is specifically for repairing gears that are gear that gets broken. Typically, it takes 1 shift to repair a damaged item, and you need access to the appropriate tools. So,
But I mean, as long as she has a knife, she
Yeah.
can.
do you have a knife, Serial?
No, it's broken. Does Louis still have a knife, or did I think I lost his knife.
Yeah.
It's dull.
You have a dull knife?
Unless whatever you're cutting is undead.
Hmm.
But
Thing.
You guys, actually, who has the best sense of smell? Probably Day, right? Day,
Maybe.
you smell something on the wind. It smells like
Sorry.
smoke. It smells like burnt feathers. No, it smells like smoke. And it's coming from the south. Out of the forest.
I smell smoke. It's coming from the south. I wonder if there's a forest fire. Maybe we shouldn't be here. Oh, actually, she can leap into the air
Correct.
like a ballet dancer and soar up. I guess if she's got a movement of 14, she can go 7 meters up in the air.
Okay. Yeah, you 7 meters is quite high. That is higher than
Yes.
you need to be to
At
see
least
over these trees.
to me.
So you look in the direction southwest, and you see dotting the landscape various things. You haven't really, I guess, have you looked this high in the Misty Vale yet, or have you been mostly on foot?
Well, she likes to sleep in trees, but I don't think she's like done much research.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a bushcraft roll while you are actually, would it be bushcraft? Let's see. While you are looking toward the horizon, toward the southwest, you see a structure of sorts. Palisade walls, and there is a plume of black smoke rising from it. That's what you see.
So I'm only up in the air for like 10 seconds.
Okay, so you briefly
one
see
round of
that.
combat.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
briefly see that, yeah.
So I land, maybe not as gracefully as I would have liked, and tell the others.
Okay.
I think there's a fire. I know what a city is. I think there's a city over there. And it's on fire. Don't everyone rush over there at once?
Based on where she's pointing, do we know like where it might be? Do we think
The
it's out?
only city or town-like structure that you guys are aware of in the entirety of Misty Vale is Outskirt, which is the small settlement at the center of the Vale. So that is where you think this smoke is rising from. Or you could just head out to the road further because you guys are kind of in the trees. Or if you'd like, you could roll a bushcraft serial to see if you could identify it, put 2 and 2 together. But Outskirt is the only place you know that
Maybe
matches
we
this description.
check it out.
do you have any contacts or kind of friendly faces still in Outskirt?
Are there any for you? Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Do you have any contacts?
The woman at the tavern that
Yeah,
wanting
you've
friendly
met
with.
people. Yeah.
But
Yeah, general
was there
store
anybody-
owner, blacksmith.
was there anybody that like knew exactly what we were doing that we trusted with a little bit more information?
The only person you spoke to was... God, I'm mixing her up with Antelia. No, it's not. Hang on, let me find her name really quick here. It is...
Leonara?
Yeah, Leonara. So the woman who works at the Three Stags, who approached you saying that she would pay you 50 gold per statuette piece.
Okay.
So that is the only person. She doesn't really know if you're out doing that, but she has requested that of you.
Louis is gonna bring her up and say that she might be able to help us kind of figure out what to do next.
Maybe it's her house that's on fire.
Maybe she's cooking something.
Maybe amidst all the chaos, I can get some arrows without anyone noticing it's me.
So, should we go there together?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, more the merrier. And you do know how to swing an axe, which was pretty cool, so...
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so you guys exit the forest. Let me get Day and Reginald out here as well. So you guys exit the forest, make your way out onto the main road, and you are stunned because you do see a plume of smoke rising from outskirt. You can't quite tell exactly which structure it's rising from, but it is coming from more or less the center of outskirt. But why doesn't everybody roll me a d4, please? Why did Reginald roll?
Oh, I
What
think I was
happened?
clicked on him.
Maybe.
I was like, Reginald rolls a d4, a 2d4, and a 1d4. I love it.
I didn't even
We
know.
are all Reginald.
Yeah. You guys can just click on the d4 in the tray at the bottom.
Reginald rolled a 4. They rolled a 2.
They rolled a 2. Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
4.
Louis 4. Okay. So Day, you are kind of, I guess, eagerly setting foot out onto the road, clear of the trees, getting a gander at all of the beautiful sights before you. And you trip over something on the ground. And you look down, and it's a creature on its back with 4 legs, 4 scaled legs kind of moving as if it's trying to right itself. You've seen one of these. It's a turtle. You tripped over a medium-sized turtle, let's say.
She doesn't turn it over.
Okay.
Welcome to the Void Conf test.
Louis, there's something familiar about this turtle. Turtle you haven't seen in a very long time.
Louis gonna get a closer look.
Okay, you get a closer look, and this turtle is on its back, trying to get right itself, but as you know, turtles aren't so good at that. Its head is kind of like swinging around. It looks at you, seems to recognize you as much as a turtle brain could. But you notice that there's something, there's a piece of rope tied around its midsection, leading to the top of the shell, but the top of the shell is concealed.
Wait a second. Oh, I think I recognize this turtle. I think this is my old friend Jeremy.
It is indeed.
He's gonna turn the
Jeremy.
turtle over.
You turn the turtle over, and it's almost as if the twine itself disappears into the uppermost shell, the topmost shell. But to the untrained eye, that is. But you are very familiar with Jeremy the turtle and his shell. And you notice that one of the patterns on the top of the shell is awry. Something is wrong with it. And you pick it up, and you find that it is a piece of parchment folded perfectly in the shape of one of its, I guess, what is it, a hexagonal? I can't remember how many sides a turtle-shaped shell has on the pattern. One of these things, and it almost unfolds accordion-like.
Whoa.
And
Oh,
it's a letter. You see writing on it. And you
Oh.
are very, very surprised to see this. And that's where we're going to end the session tonight, everybody. So thanks again for watching, hanging out with us now or in the future. Don't forget to like the video. It feels good to be back, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll be back next week with more Dragonbane to find out what this mysterious note says that was delivered by Turtle. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Thanks again for watching, and have a great night or day or whatever time it is. See you guys.